Good morning. We're in Psalm 99 today, and again, on one of these glorious pictures of God. Maybe I can encourage you to loosen up your modern, Western, logical, literal minds. We're all trained to think that way. And let your imagination go as I read this picture. I literally want you to try to picture what the images of Psalm 99 are putting together for you. Then we'll talk about them. The Lord reigns. Let the nations tremble. He sits enthroned between the cherubim. Let the earth shake. Great is the Lord in Zion. He's exalted over all the nations. Let them praise your great and awesome name. He is holy. The King is mighty. He loves justice. You have established equity. In Jacob you have done what is just and right. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his footstool. He is holy. Moses and Aaron were among his priests. Samuel was among those who called on his name. They called on the Lord and he answered them. He spoke to them from the pillar of cloud. They kept his statutes and the decrees he gave them. Lord our God, you answered them. You are to Israel a forgiving God, though you punish their misdeeds. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his holy mountain, for the Lord our God is holy. Now, the first part of Psalm 99 is extremely evocative. The reign of the Lord. The Lord reigns, we've learned before in other Psalms. It just means the Lord is king. The Lord is sovereign. That reign is the word for sovereign. So he's king. He's over everything. The nations tremble before him. He sits enthroned between cherubim. So I want you to picture now, if you have any training in the Old Testament, kind of the Ark of the Covenant and how it was set up. The Ark was where the law was kept, and there were these cherubim with wings outstretched over top the Ark. So in ancient Israel, this was in the Holy of Holies, which was in the temple, which is right the whole bit. And Israel pictured God manifesting his presence, locating or demonstrating his presence in this place called the Holy of Holies. And so for them, they pictured God. And here, the image is the throne of God, perhaps being the wings of the cherubim, and the Ark of the Covenant, where the law is his footstool. Did you know that God sat on a bark lounger? That he had a recliner? Anyhow, I only say this to say this was the picture that Israel had in their mind of the God in the Holy of Holies. Not reclining, but a God who sat, who was seated, who was located, who was with Israel. It was their confidence that God had been with them and manifested his presence, that he'd given them his law, that he'd spoken to them. And so here now it references now this God who is enshrined in the Holy of Holies. We're to worship at his footstool. And then it recalls Moses and Aaron and Samuel, those who called on his name. They called and he answered. He spoke to them. He gave them statutes, decrees. He forgave them. So I don't think I have anything more profound to say than just play with the picture. Perhaps we don't picture God any longer in a temple made with hands. Perhaps we don't see him seated in the Holy of Holies. But picture him as present powerfully with you, hearing you, speaking to you, walking with you in his life. That's the picture that Israel had by placing him in the temple. And we know in the New Testament, that's the picture we have as God places his Spirit within us. He is present to us. He writes his law on our hearts. He's with us in this life. And for that reason, we have confidence. Grace and peace to you.